Was this in some way obvious that they were going to have to pull back from selling China sooner than some had anticipated?
Yeah, I mean, the cancellation of the grace periods was definitely a surprise for them. And we think now the restrictions have reached a point where this does start having some long-term impacts. So when we look at long-term impacts next year, which is fiscal 25, which is equivalent to calendar 24 for them, we estimate about 5 to 8 billion that they would have shipped to China. So you can put a 5 billion threshold baseline impact that it will have to the top line. However, there are some avenues we think where Nvidia can offset that loss. One being shipping to other customers outside of China, because they are still, as of right now, and things can change given the uncertain macro, there is still demand for Nvidia chips. And second, there might be ways that Nvidia can still get exposure to the Chinese market through alternate means.
What we're talking about in the AI chip context is GPUs that are basically assembled components that go into data centers. And for China, that's always been 20 to 25% of its data center business, right? But they're supply constrained and they never talk about it. Yeah. Is it just simply that they can sell to other nations, other startups around the world, the same product that they would have otherwise sent to China?
Well, not exactly the same product, but a version of the same product, yes. And then the second key point is when we look at these cloud providers, their CapEx is not only the only avenue that Nvidia can get exposure. For example, Microsoft has a compute offload through OpenAI. So when we look at Microsoft CapEx, that's not the only piece that Nvidia gets, but also through OpenAI. You have the same thing going on with Alibaba announcing that they are going to offer Meta's large language model. So there are still different avenues that sort of Nvidia can get an indirect exposure to the Chinese market.